What's going on, Guardians? Sly here, and thanks for checking out another Sly Nation Destiny 2 video. This time we're going to take a look at subclasses. Now, unfortunately, not all of the subclasses were available to take a look at the reveal last Thursday. The only subclasses we could see were the Titan Striker, the new Dawnblade Warlock, and the Gunslinger Hunter. What we do know is that the Defender Titan, the Blade Dancer Hunter, and the Self-Resing Warlock are out. Those subclasses have been changed out to the Sentinel Titan instead of Defender, Arc Strider instead of Blade Dancer, and of course the Dawnblade instead of the Sunsinger. Now, to keep the spoilage down, Bungie didn't give everyone access to all the new subclasses. So like I said earlier, we only have the Dawnblade, the new Striker, and the new Golden Gun to take a look at. But before we do, I have some things that I want to point out, and some things I am not entirely happy about. First is that even though a few of the subclasses, assumingly 2 subclasses each, have the same name as before, they are completely different than the moves you're used to. Now, I can't say for sure when it comes to the Stormcaller, the Sunbreaker, or the Night Stalker, but the others will be completely different. On top of that, they have dramatically decreased the amount of perks within each subclass, and choice, well, that's going to be a thing of the past. The new UI, it looks cool and all, but it masks the fact that we lost a few columns in there, and in turn, tons of options to personalize your character's fighting style. Now, what we did gain, though, were new class abilities, and I'll go over that here in a few. Each subclass really only has 2 things that you can play around with now, and that's it. You're going to have your super, then your 3 types of grenades, which so far haven't changed at all, your 3 different types of jumping abilities that also haven't changed much, and then there are these 2 new abilities. After that, we have 2 sections of what are called passive abilities, and some of these do look pretty cool, but the problem is that they lump supers, melees, and class-specific skills into these passive quote-unquote trees. So instead of getting like 3 different choices each, like, each melee, a class ability, 3 choices within each of those columns, we're now limited to just 1 or 2 different versions, with some skills taken out completely. Some of which were this singular reason people love these subclasses to begin with. Now, I'm not saying that these are bad in any way, because, change is good. But on the other hand, it doesn't make any sense lore-wise, at least in my opinion. Unless, of course, they add some kind of story reason in for the sudden changes, like, I don't know, Gaul gets some kind of mutant serum and it changes it. It wipes out, like, all of their subclasses, which I doubt will happen. But anyways, in Destiny 2, it looks like we're going to have less subclass choice than before. Now, I have a couple theories on why they changed everything around, but first, let's get to what we know about these new subclasses. First, let's start with the Titan. Now, we do know that the Defender Titan is out of the question. The Ward of Dawn, with its beautiful blessings and weapons of light, looks to be out the window. It's not confirmed, but it seems to be that way. Also, the Titan Striker kept the name, but it has seen a ton of changes as well. So first, let's talk about the Fist of Havoc. Instead of having Death from Above or the Traveling Shockwave, those choices are now gone. What we have instead is something a little different. This time, Striker Titans kind of use the super sort of like the way a Sunbreaker did. You activate your super, and then once activated, you can either smash the ground, or with a different button, you can use a shoulder charging ability. And what's cool is that you can smash or shoulder charge more than just once. You have the ability to keep going depending on how much energy you have left in your super bar. So that's a pretty awesome new ability to look forward to. Next, let's talk about the new additions to subclasses. They have these things called class abilities. Now, we don't have confirmation as of yet, but it sounds like these abilities stay the same no matter which subclass you change to. So we will only have 2 abilities per character. So 2 for the Warlock, 2 for the Titan, and of course 2 for the Hunter. And they will be the same thing if you're playing as a Sunbreaker or as a Striker. These new Titan abilities come from the fact that we no longer have the Defender Titan bubble at our disposal. So with that gone, they gave us the ability to summon shields. However, they are not at all the same thing. The first ability is called Towering Barricade for the Titan. It's a large barrier that faces forward. It's tall and wide and can be used for protection or to seal off entrances for a short time. Now, these are impenetrable barriers, not like the old Titan bubble that you could walk in and out of. They only stop bullets. These are actually things that you cannot walk through at all. The second version is called a Rally Barricade. It's a smaller barrier that allows you to crouch behind it and be in total safety, and it will peek over once you aim down your sights. Its perk is that it instantly reloads everything once you take cover on it. As far as everything else in the Titan Striker, the jumps are the same, grenades the same, and our last two choices are perks called passive skills. Now here is where Bungie lumped everything all together into one category. Stuff from class-specific abilities like throwing knives, shoulder charges, all the way to different super uses, different melee setups, and a few other things. So instead of getting 3 choices for super use, 3 choices for melees, 3 choices for class-specific abilities, and 3 choices for subclass tweaking, we now have all of this lumped together. Some columns are representative with 1 or 2 choices, but others have been left out completely. So the passive ability for the Striker Titan is a tree called Code of the Juggernaut. It starts off with shoulder charge, so that's a good thing. Following that, we have Aftermath, which this time not only leaves a damage dealing field behind, but it also disorients enemies. Next, we have Magnitude, increased duration of pulse grenades, lightning grenades, and Aftermath. Following that, we have Aerial Strike. Fist of Havoc deals more damage the longer it's in the air. And the second tree, still under the Code of the Juggernaut, we have Reversal, melee kills immediately trigger health regeneration. Then Frontal Assault, a melee that grants out weapon stability. Then next is Trample, Fist of Havoc lasts longer while sprinting, killing your enemies with your super extends its duration. And then finally Knockout, breaking enemy shields increases your melee range. So while those choices definitely are not bad, we are missing a few things that I would have liked to see. Alright, so next, let's check out the reworked Solar subclass for the Hunter. It's still called Gunslinger, but things are a little different. So its super is the same thing that we're used to, the Golden Gun. Nothing has changed there. Moving on to the new Gunslinger's class ability, we now have the ability to dodge. First ability is called Marksman's Dodge, automatically reloads your weapon when dodging. Second ability is Gambler's Dodge, dodging near enemies generates melee energy. Now out of those two, of course, Marksman Dodge is the way to go. Now just like the Striker, jumps are pretty much the same. We have High Jump, which is high double jump, then triple jump, and then a thing called Strafe Jump, which simply is double jump but with more directional control. Moving on to grenades, they all stay the same in here as well. We still have Swarm Grenades, Incendiary, and of course the Trip Mine. Alright, and those are all of our core abilities. The last list is the passive abilities, and this skill tree is known as the Way of the Outlaw. So first list, here at the very top, we have Explosive Knife. Your throwing knife explodes shortly after impact when your melee energy is full. After that, Chain of Woe, precision kills increases weapon reload speed for you and nearby allies. After that, we have Bombs for Bullseyes, precision hits generate grenade energy, and then 6-shooter. Golden Gun can be fired up to 6 times, but it has a shorter duration. Moving on to the bottom, the second passive skill tree, still under the Way of the Outlaw, starts off with Gunslinger's Trance. Enter a trance with each precision kill, reducing the cooldown of Golden Gun. After that, we have Knife Juggler. Throw a knife at enemies when melee energy is full. Precision kills immediately recharge your knife. And then we have Line 'em Up. Precision hits with Golden Gun increase its damage and extend duration. And then our last passive ability is called Crowd Pleaser. Precision hits with Golden Gun generate orbs of light. Also, something I haven't found out or not yet, if we can activate both of these lists, or if you can only choose the top or the bottom. Now, what I think you can do is you can only choose one of these. So you can either light up all top 4, or you can light up all the ones on the bottom 4. Not sure if that's really how it works. I've been trying to find out, but so far, no word on that. Alright, and last but not least, let's check out the beastly Dawnblade. Now, you know I'm glad to see the Warlock get a new badass super like this. Warlocks were indispensable during year 1, all the way up to the Taken King pretty much. Then after that, they pretty much stopped being useful, and it was all about Defender Titans and Tethering Hunters. Don't know if the Dawnblade will be the most useful, but damn if it doesn't look good. Anyways, let's hop to it, guys. The Dawnblade is replacing the beloved Sunsinger. I'm assuming the devs simply had enough of trying to fix the 10,000 different ways the Warlock could glitch through the game using self-res. So they got rid of it, along with the most other useful thing in Destiny, the Titan Bubble. That is going to be... that sucks. Anyways, for the Dawnblade Super, it's called Daybreak. Weave solar light into blades and smite your foes from the skies. As for our class abilities, we have these thing called Rifts. If you remember the lore from year 1, the PvP mode Rift was actually started as a Warlock focus drill, and here we see it being used in combat. So the first Rift is the thing called Healing Rift. conjure a well of light that continually heals those inside it. And the second ability is called Empowering Rift. Conjure a well of light that increases the attack power of those inside it. So basically the Warlocks are getting the new Weapons of Light and Blessings, but instead of a shield, we just get our health back. Those are going to be some seriously useful abilities. Grenades, they all stay the same here, Solar, Firebolt, and Fusion. But here was something I actually was kind of curious about, the Warlock's jump. And yeah, it stayed the same. We still have Balance Glide, bonuses to speed and control, Focus Burst, initial burst of speed, and then Controlled Glide, better directional control while airborne. So those haven't changed at all. Moving on to the passive abilities on the right, the list is called Attunement of the Sky. So starting at the very top, Igniting Touch, a powerful melee ability that ignites enemies and causes them to explode. Next, Phoenix Dive, quickly descent from mid-air and regenerate health. After that, Skyfire, when Daybreak is active, descent causes explosive damage when you land, and the last one is Risen Angel. While in the air, aim your weapons to hover in place for a short time. Dealing precision damage will extend the duration. Moving on to the second list at the bottom right, we have Wildfire. Have the ability to engage your enemies mid-flight. You have the ability to fire weapons and throw grenades while gliding. Next, Firestarter, a powerful melee ability that damages enemies while also increasing movement speed and reload speed. Alright, and this next one seems pretty cool to me. It's called Blazing Dash, dodge in midair. That kind of reminds me of the Twilight Garrison for the Titan. And the last one here we have Everlasting Flames. Killing an enemy with Daybreak extends its duration. And that, my friends, is it. Those are the new and changed subclasses that we were able to see at the reveal on May 18th. Now, hopefully when E3 comes around here soon, we'll be able to check out the others and see what kind of changes we have going to those as well. So far, I kind of have mixed feelings here. Some of these changes are great, but losing options, not really a fan of that. Also, some of the iconic abilities that made the characters who they are just cease to exist, kind of like the Juggernaut Shield. That also makes little sense lore-wise, Even though change is good, I'll give you that, I would have rather seen in addition to, rather than a complete overhaul. For instance, the Striker Titan. We could have kept everything the same in the first subclass and then kind of have like a second iteration. Lore-wise, that would make sense. You learn new skills, new ways to control your light. That I can see happening. But just kind of losing what you know beforehand and now having this, kind of change, I don't know. We'll see. What I think happened is that some of these powers were just too OP, and it restricted some of the developers' options when creating encounters. They could be easily defeated by simply popping up a bubble or farming orbs to keep rezzing, Either way, I'm excited to dive into Destiny 2, guys, and I cannot wait to see what else pops up in the days to come. But that's it for me, Guardians. As always, thank you all so much for watching and for checking out my channel. Feel free to hit me up on Twitter or Facebook, Sly Nation or Sly Nation Gaming. It's the best place to stay up to date with everything Destiny, Destiny 2, Mass Effect Andromeda, and as well as new uploads from my channel. Take care, guys, and keep an eye out for more videos coming out of Sly Nation here very soon. But until then, this is your boy Sly, and I'll catch you all next time.